Hey MeepleTown, this is John, and today I'm going to show you the Onitama app. One of the cool things about this app is it is free. Now, there are some things that you can purchase, and I will show you that, but the base game and the base skins are free. So with the Onitama app, we're going to be able to play solo, which is going to be against the AI, or pass and play, where we can play against someone next to us, or we could do online play if we sign up and register for an account. If we don't have an account, we can't do the online play. So let's look at what the solo play looks like. First, you're going to notice that there are 3 levels of difficulty. We'll just stick with beginner. Then we're going to select which deck. Now, the base deck, again, as I mentioned, is free. The Sensei's Path deck does cost money. The base skins are free, but there are other skins that you can pay for. So I'm going to go ahead and start this thing. If you've never played Onitama before, if you like games like chess and stuff like that, this actually might be a great game for you, even to get into gaming, because it's very simple to teach, but this has a lot of strategy with it. And if you have played this before, this will just give you a good idea for what the gameplay actually looks like. I think it's a really, really slick app. All right, so if you've never played before, you have 2 types of pawns. One is the master pawn, so everyone has a master pawn, which is the large pawn, and then you have 4 student pawns. Now, in order to move, I'm going to select one of these cards, and if you see the gold little thing in the middle there, that is where the pawn is. And then all those, I guess kind of grayish, greenish, I don't know what those colors are. Those are the spots that that pawn, if you select them, can go to. And the app does a good job about telling you where they could go. For example, if I select a crane, the student could go up there. If I select a dragon, the student could jump all the way across. Now, if you've never played before, you may say, well, what am I doing when I'm moving the students? You're trying to win one of 2 ways. If you can capture their master pawn by getting any of your students or your master pawn on top of theirs, you win, and that's called the Way of the Stone. If you get your master pawn from your side over here all the way to where their master pawn is currently sitting, then you win as well, and that's called the Way of the Stream. And so I'm going to select from one of these 2. You may see a frog that's kind of smaller in the bottom right hand corner. That's going to be the next card that's coming my way, so I can plan ahead and look at what I'm doing now versus what I can do next round. And I'll be pretty frank with y'all. This is I'm going to play this why I'm trying to teach and do this video, and so I don't know how well I'm going to play, but I'm going to do my best. That's all we can ask for, right? Okay, so I can also not only see what I'm going to do next, but I can see what cards the player can do next. And so they've got the ox or the dragon up there, and so I can see where their movements can potentially take place, if they can get me or not. All right, I am going to do, I think I'm going to do the crane, and I'm just going to kind of move up on them just a little bit more here. See if I can put a little bit of pressure on them. And the AI moves very, very quickly, which I quite like as well. So I could exchange my student pawn for their student pawn, which I'm not really that interested in doing. Let's go the Way of the Frog. Oh, they could get me with their student if I do that as well. Maybe I put myself in a bad position by being a little too aggressive off the bat. Let me dial it back. Let me dial it back a hair. All right, so let's see where I'm at. I cannot get that pawn. They will be able to get me next turn, but I'm gonna see if I can put myself in a position where I'll be able to get them if they do that. So, which I can here, but then of course they could capture me, but then I could capture them next time. So let's see. Maybe they'll just capture me and we'll just capture each other back here. Yep. I thought that might happen. Okay, so here we go. So neither one of us are making great progress. So I could go over and try to go after their master a little bit. In fact, let's do that. Maybe it'll make way also for my master to make some moves forward, potentially. But man, they just put themselves in a corner there. That does not seem like an ideal position to be in. So I think I'm going to kind of get on the offensive a little bit here. I can't do a whole lot. You may be looking at me going, oh, dude, you're making some major mistakes here. Actually, let's do this. Let's move forward my master just a little bit. Oh, this will be nice. Just take their piece there. The beginner mode, to be quite frank, is pretty simple. So if you've never played this game before, you should be able to pretty quickly. You may lose the first game or so, but you should be able to pretty quickly figure this out and beat them in beginner mode, move up to the other modes, which are plenty harder. So he's trying to be able to capture my student and knows that I cannot get him there, but if I put some pressure on him here, then he cannot get me, and then I can, not a bad move. Let's see here. If I go up, they can't get me. I'm trying to think of what I got next, but then I couldn't see with the frog. See, I'm trying to think several steps ahead. You know what? I'm just going to make some moves here, and I really wish I had a few more moments to think through this, but I don't. But, okay, there you go. I just won the game. So that was pretty simple to beat the beginner mode, but I won by way of the stone, which means I captured their master. So that's how you play Onitama, and that's what the app looks like. Again, I think it's really slick. You can see the animations are great. The art, the graphics are fantastic. So I highly recommend it. Just go to the App Store, and again, you can download this entirely for free. So thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.
Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at MeepleTown Games, and connect with us on the MeepleTown Guild number 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.